Hello everyone, welcome to another perfect English video. Today we are going to be looking at the story Ice Age: The Meltdown. This is the first time that we have done an Ice Age story here at Perfect English, at least on the internet. So it will be really fun to take a look at this. So you might see some interesting looking animals here. That's because these animals are not animals that are real anymore. They are animals from a long time ago, okay? A period of time that we call the Ice Age, okay? This animal right here looks like what animal? An elephant, right? He looks like an elephant. And this animal here is called a sloth, but it's a little bit different from the kind of sloth that we have nowadays, okay? So let's get started and take a look at the book, starting with the back. This is a level 2 book, and this is a small quote from the book, which we're going to read to figure out a little bit of information about the book. I'm not the last mammoth. There are more of us. Everyone thinks that Manny is the last mammoth. Then he finds Ellie. But when the ice melts in the valley, can Manny, Ellie, and his friends stay safe? Okay, so we know that Manny is one of the characters, and we know that he is a mammoth, and he thought before that he was the last mammoth, that all the other mammoths were gone. But he finds one more named Ellie, okay? But this is interesting. What is a mammoth? So if we go back, this is Manny. So we can see a mammoth is like a big, hairy elephant, okay? Very similar to that. Let's get started. All right, so meet the animals from Ice Age: The Meltdown. In the last Ice Age, Manny, Sid, and Diego lived in a valley. They were very good friends. Manny is a mammoth. He's sad. He thinks that there are no more mammoths in the valley. So here's Manny right here. Diego is a saber-toothed tiger. He's fast and strong. He's a little small next to Manny, but he's pretty scary. All right, his name's Diego. Sid is a giant sloth. He loves talking. This is Sid right here. Ellie is a mammoth, but she thinks that she's a possum. Ellie. And these are possums right here. Crash and Eddie are Ellie's brothers. They're possums and they love playing games. So that's interesting. These possums are brother and sister, and they think that Ellie is their sister, and Ellie thinks that she is a possum, maybe because she doesn't know any other mammoths. So before you read, what do you think? Who are Manny's friends going to be at the end of the story? Do you think he will make friends with these people? We'll find out. Alright, so here are our vocabulary words. We have ice, 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 safe, 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 valley, 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 boat, 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 melt, 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 swim, 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 weigh, 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 fight, 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 rocks, 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 tree, 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 and last one is come on, come on. Now my picture, I'm going to move real quick so you can see some things at the bottom. We have some different verbs, present verbs, fall, and the past is fell. We have present, fight. Past is fought. Present, swim. Past is swam. So what does that mean? So if we say a verb is present, that means it's happening now, or something that happens every day, okay? That is present. But past means it's something that happened at a time before now, Okay? So like, I fall on the ground every day is a good sentence. But I can also say I fell on the ground yesterday. Fall and fell. Present and past. Very good. Let's get started with the story. Chapter 1. We aren't safe here. It was a hot sunny day in the valley. The animals played on the ice and in the water. They loved the sun, but there was a problem. Manny talked to the animals. We aren't safe here, he said. The ice is melting. Soon our valley is going to be underwater. What can we do? Asked the animals. There's a boat at the end of the valley, said Manny. Is it far? Asked Sid. Yes, said Manny, but it's safe there. Let's go, said the animals. They all walked slowly to the end of the valley. Behind them, some ice fell into the water. Two big sea animals came out of the ice. They were hungry. Manny walked with his friends, Sid and Diego. Look, said a young animal. He's the last mammoth. I'm not the last mammoth, said Manny. There are more of us. Where? The animal laughed. Manny did not know. He was very sad. It's okay, Manny, said Diego. You have us, said Sid. So now we're on chapter 2. She's the girl for you. Suddenly, a girl mammoth fell out of a tree. There were two possums with her. Hey, said Manny, a mammoth. Where? Asked the girl mammoth. I'm Ellie, and these are my brothers, Crash and Eddie. Why were you in the tree? Manny asked Ellie. Possums like trees, she said, and I'm a possum. You are not a possum, said Sid. Okay, so they met Ellie. Right when Manny is feeling sad because he thinks he's the last mammoth, he meets Ellie. How do you think he feels when he sees Ellie? Do you think he's happy? Excited? Alright, but there's an interesting problem. Ellie doesn't think she's a mammoth. She thinks that she is a possum. Ellie and her brothers walked with Manny, Sid, and Diego. Ellie played with her brothers. They laughed and laughed. Ellie's funny, said Sid to Manny. She's the girl for you. I'm not the boy for Ellie, said Manny. She likes possums, not mammoths. Ice was not very strong now. Suddenly, the sea animals jumped out of the ice in front of them. Sid fell into the water. Manny fought the sea animals and they swam away. Wow, thanks, said Sid. Why did you do that? Ellie asked Manny. She was angry. It wasn't safe. Soon there are going to be no mammoths in this valley. Ellie walked away. Now Manny was angry too. I don't like girls, he said to Sid. Sid laughed. That night they came to a tree. Ellie looked at it for a long time. Manny waited for her. I know this tree, she said slowly. I was here when I was small. I don't have a mom or dad. A possum lived in the tree and she had two children, Crash and Eddie. Listen, Ellie, said Manny. Crash and Eddie aren't your brothers. You're a mammoth. The boy possums at school never liked me, said Ellie quietly. Now I understand. Well, I'm a boy mammoth, and Manny stopped suddenly. What? Asked Ellie. I like you, he said. So sweet. Now we're looking at chapter 3. So we can see in chapter 2, he met Ellie, and over time they became friends. And he even says that he likes her. Chapter 3, I'm not going this way. Next day, the animals walked all morning. I'm tired, said Sid. You're always tired, said Manny. Look, shouted Crash and Eddie, the boat. Everyone was happy. Come on, we don't have much time, said Manny. The water is coming. Ellie stopped. I'm not going this way, she said. It's not safe. There isn't a safe way, said Manny. He walked away quickly. Ellie and the possums went a different way. They walked and walked. Suddenly some ice fell and a lot of water came into the valley. They ran fast, but a big rock fell on top of Ellie. Ellie, are you okay? Shouted Crash. Yes, she said, but there's no way out of here. Go and find help. Who do you think they're going to ask for help? Manny, Diego, and Sid were near the boat. Suddenly they saw Crash and Eddie. Come and help Ellie, shouted Crash. Manny ran after them, but he fell into the water. The sea animals were in the water too. They wanted to eat Manny. The rock on top of Ellie was underwater now. Manny swam to the rock. The sea animals swam after him and crashed. The rock fell, and Manny came out. She was okay. Chapter 4. There was water everywhere in the valley. What now? Asked Sid. Look, shouted Diego. The ice at the end of the valley. It's going to fall. The ice fell, and the water went out of the valley. The animals were safe. Do you see that? Shouted Manny happily. There were a lot of mammoths at the end of the valley. Let's go with them, Ellie said to Manny. I want to stay here with my friends, said Manny. Ellie went to the mammoths. Manny watched her sadly. Manny, go after her, said Diego. Ellie walked slowly behind the mammoths. Suddenly a mammoth fell out of a tree. It was Manny. Ellie, he said, I want to be with you. Do you want to be with me? Yes, I do, laughed Ellie. Sid and Diego were sad. It's you and me now, said Sid. Suddenly there was someone behind them. It was Manny. Ellie and her brothers were there too. Why are you here? Your friends are going, said Diego. You are my friends, said Manny. Friends are great, said Sid. So they all stayed together. Okay, and that is the end of Ice Age 2, The Meltdown. So I hope you enjoyed the story. It's kind of a love story about how Manny finds Ellie, but it's also a story about friends. Okay, who are Manny's friends? Do you remember their names? That's right, Sid and Diego. This one is Diego. He is a saber-toothed tiger. And the little one is Sid. He is a sloth. Alright, I hope that you come back to this video when you need to review sometimes. And I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.